I'm going to show you the top 10 legendary primary ammo weapons that you absolutely need to craft before the final shape. You see, Bungie has been cooking lately and has allowed all free-to-play players access to just about every expansion except Lightfall and all of the 4 most recent seasons, along with access to their weapon crafting patterns, even going so far as to grant a guaranteed 1 red border from that respective seasonal activity every single day. So with that being the case, I figured this would be the perfect time to put out a new video for my top 10 crafted primary ammo weapons. So whether you're a new player or a seasoned vet returning from a break, by the end of this video you will know the top 10 best weapons that you will absolutely need to craft before the final shape. Starting off at number 10, we have the Doom of Chelchis Void Scout Rifle from the King's Fall raid. It is an extremely strong scout rifle with the ability to roll with explosive payload and frenzy. This is my personal favorite roll on the weapon, as explosive payload splits the bullet in half, and the explosive half deals 30% increased damage. Along with that, frenzy also grants us an additional 15% damage buff, along with plus 100 to both reload speed and handling just by dealing sustained damage. Now this ranks at number 10 because scouts are pretty weak in this sandbox, and there are just a lot better options in terms of weapon choice in my opinion. At number 9, we have the Sweet Sorrow Arc Auto Rifle from the Vox Obscura exotic mission. This is one of the few weapons in the game that has the ability to roll with Stats for All and 1 for All. Upon damaging 3 enemies, Stats for All grants plus 10 range and stability, and plus 35 reload speed and handling. This pairs perfectly with 1 for All, which grants us a 35% damage boost upon damaging 3 separate enemies. This makes it a great weapon for general ad clear and makes it feel extremely snappy and clean to use. It ranks at number 9 due to the fact that as an ad clear weapon, it unfortunately does not have access to any great ad clear perks, which we'll get into later. Still, it's a great weapon to add to any of your arc builds. At number 8, we have the Age-Old Bond Void Auto Rifle. Now this comes from the Last Wish raid and has the ability to roll with the very rare perk combo of Destabilizing Rounds and Repulsor Brace. Destabilizing Rounds causes defeating a target to make nearby enemies volatile, and Repulsor Brace grants a Void Overshield for defeating a Void debuffed target. As Volatile is a Void debuff, this allows us to have access to constant Overshields, and the addition of Volatile makes ad clear much easier. As a side note, this is a great weapon to pair with a Gerfalcon's Hunter, as it synergizes extremely well with the stylish Executioner aspect as well. Also, if you're looking for groups with solid players to tackle any of these activities, the link to join the D2 Nova Discord is in the description, and there are always people looking for others to tackle activities with. We only opened the Discord about a month ago and already have over 200 active members looking for others to play with. Also, I often run activities with Discord members live at twitch.tv/D2Novi. It would be great to see you there. Feel free to stop out if you would like to join in on that. So once again, if you want to join in on any of that, the link to join is in the description. But then moving on, at number 7, we have Subjunctive. Now this is an ARC SMG from the Season of the Wish, and it has one of my favorite perk combos on an SMG, allowing us to equip both Threat Detector and Volt Shot. Threat Detector is all based on proximity to enemies, so as long as you are within 15 meters of 2 enemies, you will get Threat Detector times 2, which grants plus 40 stability, plus 100 handling, and plus 60 reload speed. This will be extremely easy to maintain as SMGs thrive in close quarters combat. Volt Shot then grants us fantastic ad clear, as reloading after defeating an enemy grants us rounds that will jolt nearby enemies when striking a target. This makes it a phenomenal ad clear weapon, especially if we get some arc artifact mods in the final shape, which I'm really hoping for. At number 6, we have the Amit AR2, a solar auto rifle from the Witch Queen expansion. Now this is extremely accessible to anyone to craft, as it is unlocked simply by playing through the first few missions of the Witch Queen and completing the first few quests associated with that expansion. As I said before, there has never been a better time to get these weapon patterns, as the Witch Queen is one of the many expansions and seasonal content that have been made available to all players until the final shape releases. The role I recommend is Stats for All and Incandescent. Stats for All, as we saw before, grants us increased reload speed, handling, range, and stability. When paired with Incandescent, which causes Scorch to nearby enemies when defeating a target, this makes Amit a great weapon for any solar build. This is much better than Volt Shot in my opinion, because unlike Volt Shot, Incandescent works on any defeat, as opposed to Volt Shot's 6-second timer which starts when you reload after defeating an enemy. At number 5, we have the Posterity Arc hand cannon from the Deepstone Crypt raid. Now up until a few days ago, I did not have this weapon crafted, and as such, I had no idea how strong it could be. This is one of the few weapons in the game capable of rolling Volt Shot in the 3rd column, meaning it can also be paired with a damage boosting perk in the 4th column. Not only that, but its recoil is extremely manageable, so it feels really nice to use. Now the role I recommend is Volt Shot and Frenzy. We've already went over both of these perks, so you can see why this role is quickly becoming one of my favorite weapons. I'm not sure if damage perks would boost the Volt Shot damage, but if they do, Rampage would be another great perk to try on posterity. Now at number 4, we have the Tyranny of Heaven Solar Bow from the Last Wish raid. With the ability to roll with both Dragonfly and Incandescent, this bow basically just allows you to cause tons of Scorch and Ignitions and feels really easy to use. Dragonfly causes a solar elemental explosion with precision defeats, and Incandescent spreads Scorch, making it a fantastic weapon for ad clear from a distance. At number 3, we have the Rufus's Fury Strand Auto Rifle from the Root of Nightmares raid. This is easily one of my favorite auto rifles, and it's just got so many great perks, I can hardly recommend a specific role. Now personally, I love Pugilist and Hatchling for my strand builds, but there are a lot of great other perks to choose from. Pugilist grants us 10% melee energy for every weapon defeat, and plus 35 handling for 3 seconds after dealing melee damage. And Hatchling allows precision final blows or rapidly defeating enemies to spawn a Threadling. 10 out of 10 would recommend getting this crafted before the final shape. At number 2, we have one of my most used weapons in the game, the Callus Mini Tool. Now Callus Mini Tool is a solar SMG that comes from the Presage Exotic Mission, and you would be hard pressed to find a time that I don't have this weapon in my inventory. My role is Threat Detector Incandescent, and it just feels so good to use with that increased handling and reload speed from Threat Detector, plus the ad clear from Incandescent. Now this certainly is not the best endgame weapon for things like GMs, but I gladly use this in raids, dungeons, and just about any other activity under the sun. And finally, at number 1, we have in my opinion the best crafted primary ammo weapon in the game, Zauli's Bane. Now Zauli's Bane drops from the King's Fall raid and is widely referred to by the Destiny community as the legendary version of Sunshot. It has the ability to roll with both explosive payload and incandescent, making it extremely forgiving to use and a great ad clear weapon. This is the only legendary weapon that I have ever used that truly feels like an exotic. And if there's one thing that you take away from today's video, I hope it's that you need to craft Zauli's Bane. And there you have it, the top 10 primary ammo weapons to craft before final shape. Let me know what you think in the comments and what you think should have made the list that didn't.